Good night. How everyone doing tonight? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Ermi Che. I know I just talked to y'all hours ago. Um, I have a little story for y'all. It's something that we all this is something I've been using lately and it been working. So I want us all the chosen ones to take a look at what's been working for me may work for y'all. So being positive affirmation of to speak over your life. Because there's so much negative stuff coming against our children. And I sit back and just let all this stuff in and realize it can just be words that's speaking over your life will cause you to have setback or anything else. So I've been doing writing stuff down or just either speak it if you don't have no paper to write it down. And it has been working, you know. So first, self-affirmation is an act of affirming one own worthless and value, and when done constantly, now consistency. So when you start doing it, I just started doing it a couple of weeks ago. You have to do it every day for it to work. You have to keep on speaking it. You will win. You will not fail. You will live. You will not die. And see the positive word that you will speak, it will come to pass. Because you'll be fighting off any negatives that coming towards you if you constantly do this every day. So you have to be consistent and they become your reality. You have the power to speak what you desire into existence. I told you I just started doing this a couple of weeks and it do work. So I want all of us to just start speaking positive. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. I tell y'all all the time when I'm talking to y'all, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Because, our children, we isolated. And down the line, I'm going to tell you about that too. We by ourselves all the time. You know, really, I don't know about y'all, but a lot of times I don't have no my phone not ringing, say, oh good. Congratulations, you did a good job. You're making it to the end. We don't have that, so we have to encourage our own self. Now, sometimes you have to speak victory over doing your test. If you defeat the devil, speak victory over your own self. Don't wait for somebody to say you doing a good job. Nobody don't tell me that. I have to acknowledge myself. Sometimes when I put myself, sometimes I say, "Oh, that was a good job I did." Sometimes you have to acknowledge your own self, and say you did a good job. Speak victory over your life. Don't wait for somebody else to do it because sometimes somebody might not celebrate you. They might not tell you you're doing a good job, and so you have to have a strong mind to not worry about people not celebrating you or congratulate you. You have to encourage your own self. Now, speaking over your life help you to determine who you are. That's me, been in the stone so much. Got an awakening. So I'm seeing everything clearly now. So you start doing all these things, you start seeing things clearly, especially you had awakening. I done had awakening. I've been through all the storm, through all the fire. So now I'm seeing things clearly, and you are determined of who you really are. Not who you want to be, and it attract the things that your heart crave for. I was craving for stuff for so long, but by the darkness that I was in, the trials, the attacks, all that I was in, it just overshadowed everything. So who you are and who you came to become to be. Now, participate in all the illustrator of our blessing. You know, so once you conquer all these things and you had your awakening, so then you start seeing things clearly, and then you realize exactly who you are, what your position are. Now I'm gonna start seeing my path more clearly. Since I'm going through these steps, going step by step of my awakening. So fear and anxiety are natural. A lot of people say don't. Now fear and anxiety, they say it's natural, but guess what? You cannot stay in that feeling. That's supposed to be just for a moment. because God didn't design us to have fear. He did not design us to have anxiety. So that's not part of God's design. So you cannot stay in that feeling for a long time. You have to snap out of it. I was in there multiple times, but guess what? I always snap out of it. I don't stay in that feeling for a long period of time. So I was a strong woman. I would have, but God know I was a strong woman for years. I done went through all kind of trials, all kind of tests. You know, had fear, anxiety, all that. But I never still stood in that feeling a long time. You have to snap out of it and press your way through. So we are never alone in our struggles. And right now we need each other more than ever. All kind of stuff is going on. We have the corona, the COVID, we have this war going on, so all kind of stuff is coming at us is don't we don't need to be attacking each other now. This whole world needs to come together, to make a better place for it. With so much stuff going on and everybody attacking each other, and just a time to come together. So being isolated is a good thing. Being isolated is a good thing. I know God have all His chosen ones being alone. We get more work done with being alone. Every time you have phone calls, you're sitting on the phone and all that. What we do is take up our time, so we don't really need to be distracted. You know, being isolated, it keep you from being distracted from thinking of loneliness. You know, since I've been alone up in here just doing what I'm doing, a lot of time I don't even think about that I'm alone. So your plate is full. It keep you from being distracted of thinking about loneliness. Because you don't want to think about loneliness because we spiritual. We have to wait until God until we find the right spiritual partner. So being isolated is a good thing. It's been a good thing for me. I've been thinking more, getting more stuff out. So when you're constantly on the phone, running your mouth, and friends knocking at the door, it's gonna distract you from God, the will of God, what God set us here to do. Because when we constantly distracted, we ain't gonna get no work done. So good things are unfolding for me because I am grateful for every blessing that's coming my way, big and small. Now, you have to be you have to be grateful for what you have and what to come to you. Any blessing, if it's big or small, we have to be grateful for whatever coming our way. We have to be grateful. And we also have to be grateful for what we have now. Because like the house that I have, the car that I have, God allowed me to get these things. So if God allow us to get these type of material stuff that we have, He want us to be grateful for what we have before He sent us any kind of blessing. You know, because He want us to be grateful because He don't want us to receive so much blessing and get over our head of the money and the new material stuff. Because we have to be grateful because God give us the stuff that we have now. So the more I am thankful in the now, the more I can create for my future that's commanding life. And I have since I've been awakened, I just been creating and thinking about all kind of stuff. And then, I mean, I just been thinking it's going on and on, and I just been creating so much stuff. The awakening it helped me in so many ways. It's clearing my mind. I'm just creating and writing stuff all the time, and when I'm thinking of something, oh, let me write it down. That's why I bring a tablet with me in the kitchen. My room, the living room, I bring a little tablet with me because I'm always thinking now, because my mind is clear now. So I'm always coming up with ideas, and I say, well, let me hurry up and write it down. So awakening had helped me a whole lot. I'm seeing so much things clearly, and I'm thinking of ideas constantly. So it can't curate for your future, commanding your life. So I am worthy, and my heart is to open to receive love. So you have to speak. And a lot of people think I don't know that I'm worthy. that I'm valued. I do. I do. I know I'm worthy. I know I'm valued. We all have to know that we worthy, we valued, that we enough. We all have to know that of ourselves. And I do love myself. Just think I don't love myself. I love myself. So we all have to love ourselves. We all have to know that we are worthy. We are worthy. And we have to believe that we are worthy, that we are valued. You know, and we have to speak it every day. We have to love ourselves. It's telling me to love myself. I already love myself. I love myself dearly. I'm fighting. It took so many licks. You know, um, and then when you in your storm and you survive your storm, you are a survivor and an overcomer. Now these things you need to. I'm telling you that you need to speak every day. Write a list of the things that you want to speak on every day, that you want to come to exist. Put I'm a survivor. I'm an overcomer. I thank God for my life to be a testimony to someone. You have to write all that you're a winner. You're not a failure. You're gonna complete your race. That's the things I wrote down. I wrote a list down. I keep it in my Bible. I keep one when I bring to work. And I read those things every day. You have to speak it that you're a winner. Speak it that you're not a failure. That's what I've been doing the past 2 weeks, and that's what been helping me speaking it. You know, when people think you're gonna fail, you speak. Oh no, I'm not gonna fail. I'm gonna cross this finish line. I'm a winner. I'm gonna start what I finish and cross the line. Remember I told you a couple of days ago, you're not a winner until you cross that line. So you're gonna speak that no, I'm not a failure. I'm a winner. I'm gonna accomplish what I started. You know, write a list down, and that's what I did. And I speak on it every day. That I'm not a failure. That I'm a winner. That I'm not gonna lose. That I will win. That I will finish the finish line. What I started. You know, that's what you have to speak on every day. And I'm telling you, it worked. So I've been doing it for the last 2 weeks. You have to speak it. You have to say, I will manifest the dream. I will manifest great things in my life. I will create to be the best version of my life. You know, so you have to speak those things. Write it down, all this that you want to speak on every day. You have to be consistent on doing it. And I've been doing it every day, every month. You could do it twice a day you want before you go to bed, early in the morning. However you want to do it, but you have to do it at least once a day. You have to be consistent on it until you see it all come to pass. And you can even check over whatever come to pass, what you had on your list. Check it out. Okay, this one came to pass. And keep on speaking until everything on your list comes to pass. So we're going to look at Proverbs. We're going to look at Proverbs 15:4. The tongue that brings healing is a tree of life, but a deceitful tongue that crosses the spirit. Now, the tongue that brings healing is the tree of life. So you want to speak good things of your life, and it'll be like a tree of life. But if you speak negative over your life, now I'm speaking on myself. This things that I speak to you all about is the experience that I dealt with. You know, now I do not speak negative over my life. I do never say what I cannot do. I never speak, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't speak like that no more. You have to speak positive. I'm learning to speak positive things over my life. You know, and if you speak deceitful tongue that crosses the spirit, when you speak negative over your life, speak negative over your life, it will be crushing your spirit. That's why my spirit was crushed so much. Now my spirit must be coming alive now because I'm speaking number positive things. And it's like I said, write a list of all that you want to speak on everything. And then wherever come to pass, check it out. So we're going to look at Proverbs 16:24. Pleasant words are honeycomb that's sweet to the soul and healing to the bone. Now, you want to speak nice words to someone. A lot of time I say, oh, your shoes is nice. That's a nice purse you have. Always find something nice to speak to someone. It will be so much healing. It'll be so much healing to your bones. So much sweet to your soul. Just to, it ain't gonna hurt you to say something nice to someone. If they got a nice blouse on, a nice purse, it's just something nice you can say to someone, by us um, a spiritual divine, it help your energy, your vibration of just saying some nice words. So I also want to read to you from my own study Bible, feeling good about ourselves and our compliments. It's not sinful. Sometimes, it's me. Sometimes when happy things happen to me, I be too scared to tell anybody because a lot of time nobody not happy for me. So I try to keep my happiness to myself sometimes. But it's not a sin, because I know God said He don't want you bragging on yourself. He don't, so it's not bragging on yourself. If you're feeling good about yourself in the compliments that done, just saying it's not sinful, and there is no belittling of your gift. So now some people have pride. Now this is king in this Bible with Solomon. He had pride. Now God helped him to get out of his trials. But when God brings them out of this stone, he wants to take all the credit. He wants to take all the credit. Did not acknowledge that God helped at all. So then he forgetting that everything he had was a gift from a servant of God. Everything he had, it came from God. So when the king who had pride, now he came to his senses. Now he came to his senses. And that's gonna be from Proverbs 16:18 when he came to his senses. So he finally gave God the glory, and he took his proper place in the scheme of things. So now he took his proper place because he came to his senses and he denied God. God the glory. He give God the glory of his situation, his problem, whatever his problem was. First he had pride and he want to take all the credit for it. We can't take all the credit for ourselves. That just like me. I was in a hard, tough battle. Nobody but the mighty God can turn that battle and turn. I preached on that yesterday. Turn your battle into treasure. He the only one can. And I'm like, oh Lord, I don't know if I can come out of this here, but nobody but the mighty God can turn the whole battle around. No matter how it look. So I'm gonna always give God the glory on my stone because he perceived so many miracles in my stone. And a lot of it's gonna be in the testimony with all the miracles that he did, all the miracles and stuff that he did in the Bible. I've witnessed a lot of miracles in my life that he perceived. So he is an awesome, amazing God that you can't help but to give him the glory. But they got some people with pride. He had to keep on reminding the Israelites, it's me that got Moses to get you out of slavery. It's me that had Moses to rise that thing for you to cross over the Red Sea. So God had to keep on letting them know that it's him. Because they are not on. They want to acknowledge God, all the power and stuff. God was feeding them, dropping them food down for them to eat. You know, God can do so much for people till they still want acknowledge and honor him. So then he took his proper place in the scheme of things. Wisdom go hand in hand together. And a humble person will honor by God. God don't like a pride heart. So once he came to his senses, then God wants you humble. A humble person will be honored by God. And that's going to come from Proverbs 16:18. A humble person will honor by God, not a pride heart. God don't want a pride heart that no matter what somebody do, even if somebody else do something for you, you still got to acknowledge that person did it. You could do so much for somebody, but they still will not acknowledge. They'll tell somebody, they'll take all the credit for it, and they won't tell the person that so helped them. So either way it go, it's the same way. You have to give people credit where it's due. So I hope y'all enjoy this word. And remember, speak positive to your life. And start writing it down. And whatever comes to pass, just check it off. But you have to speak those words that you write down every day and see how prosper, see how things will happen in your life, how things will start unfolding. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. And I see y'all on the next video. Good night.